Hi, this is Spencer, and you're listening to The Other Show.
Do you smell that, Kenny?
I don't.
We actually were talking off air about smells and about offensive smells.
Yeah, like BO. Is it BO or is it from someone's mouth? Right? That's the worst question to ever ask. Oh, well, there's a worse one, but we're going to leave it there.
Yeah, or when you get into a car and it's like a fart car, and because it's upholstery and you just know that the person who drives it just...
No,
anyway,
that's years.
That's not the way that we want to start this show.
If you have an upholstered car, you have years of stench. You have the ghosts haunting that car forever.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, let's move beyond that. That's not how we need to talk and start the show. So
the smell I was talking about was the smell of the crisp autumn air. It is September. It is officially fall season.
It does feel different. Is it just a mental thing, or is it actually a little bit cooler?
I think it's a little bit cooler. I mean, it rained today, so that was lovely.
Right.
And yeah, there's a different shift, It's definitely not because Mercury's in retrograde.
Yeah.
It's the autumn air. It's summer is finally kind of going away, and I'm here for it, man.
So is the end of August, is that the end of BRAT Summer? Have you heard of the term BRAT Summer, Josh?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it means in comparison with Hot Girl Summer. I'm more particular to Hot Girl Summer, I'll say that. I mean, I should really look up BRAT Summer and what it actually means.
Be careful when you Google that.
Okay, so the term BRAT Summer, it's from an artist called Charlie XCX. And brat is a positive term, and it's all about embracing your imperfections, accepting your flaws, and not letting others define you, and being authentic. So basically, it's like owning your mental illness on social media, I guess, and saying, "This is me." A little bit of Greatest Showman there for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, break out.
I feel like social media is just brat. I think all social media is BRAT Summer.
It really is, because I've noticed that a lot more. I don't know if it's just aging. We're in our 40s. We're both 43, which I don't know. I've come to terms with. But,
yeah, me too.
It's weird. I don't know. I look at that and I'm like, oh, that's lovely. Okay, embrace it. Power to people, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But man, people with their social media, I would much rather read something like that than some other political fight on social media.
Oh, do you still have that? Does that still come up for you? Because I stay off Facebook for the most part. And Facebook is kind of where you get the poorly spelled memes and everything like that. Instagram, I don't see a bunch of that. And maybe I've just, and let's be honest, Twitter, I've muted so many terms, right? Just to keep my sanity. And not that I want to be in any echo chamber. I just don't want to hear it at all.
No, I don't. I don't either. And I rarely go on Twitter anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Just kind of, because I just don't want to get sucked into something. Like I never don't read the comments, whatever you do, especially on Facebook. And I don't know what's worse, is if it's Facebook or if it's Twitter when it comes to the political thing. And I don't care, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't care what political side you're on. I'm just tired of the back and forth bickering and everybody just being so set in what they believe that they just treat other people like crap.
Yeah, exactly.
Just stop.
Let's just all hug each other, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know how we got here.
No, this is what we have to do, because we're just going to do this show. By the way, Spencer is not here.
Yes.
He's got to take care of his family, and Spencer, good luck. It's one of those things.
Got a little situation.
We were about to start, but he couldn't make it. But seriously, literally, as of this moment, good luck, Spencer. And when you're listening, you'll be okay. They got done without me. The show is much worse without you, Spencer. Obviously, but here we are. But no, Josh, I'm right there with you. It is pumpkin spice season. This begins my scary movie watching. This begins the stress that I get knowing that I don't have a Halloween costume yet. I have 2 months and I am stressed beyond belief. Like, I have a final paper due in school. That's the kind of stressed I'm at. No, truly, I'm not even joking. Because every year I go, oh yeah, well, I have all year to work on a costume, so I can finally build my Rocketeer costume. And it's September 2nd, and I'm like, well, I've got a John Stockton jersey again.
I'm kind of in that same situation. I'm not going to rehash everything.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Halloween
You
fan,
are not.
Right? I don't do the spooky things. I don't do the scary things. And if I'm doing anything Halloween related, it's either more Day of the Dead or it's more of the Disney stuff, right? Yeah. And today's Labor Day when we're recording this, and so tonight MaryAnn and I and her parents, we went to the mall. We went to Southtown Mall. Mainly, we went there because MaryAnn had to pick up can't remember what it was. I think I should probably tell you that it was candles and not a bra, but whatever.
Yeah, because bras are inappropriate.
Right.
Save it for Hot Girl Summer. Okay.
Yes. So we went to the mall, and then we kind of walked around a little bit, and we hit up 2 specific stores that may be of interest. First off, and this is in relation to what you just said with your costume and everything.
Yeah.
We went to the Spirit of Halloween store, right?
Oh, you did already this early in the season?
Yeah, we just walked through.
Okay.
First off, I don't really like that store anymore. And I think it's just because it's all just the demonic, just crap, right?
Okay.
Like, you walk in and they have all these props for your decorations, and they're like demon babies with cockroaches all over them or something, and I'm like, this is just gross.
Right.
And then you go over to the costumes, and kind of some of the same. The kid costumes are better, right? Because you've got your Sesame Street, you've got your Muppets, you've got your Disney stuff, and
totally
Bluey, whatever. And then you kind of go to the more appropriate. I should
age appropriate. Age appropriate.
Yeah, more adult. The adult kind of costumes.
A little bit.
Some of them are appropriate.
Yeah.
But then you have some phallic ones. You have like Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh.
Yeah. Wait, was that really there?
Yeah.
How's that still relevant? Yeah, we couldn't sell this thing for 20 years.
No, and it was almost gone off the shelf, which I'm like, oh gosh,
what kid's gonna be a Christmas Pooh? Okay.
No.
Wait,
but,
so
it just
you're kind of done with. I mean, it's always been a little bit trashy there, right? And if nothing else, maybe a cool mask, right? Maybe it's a inspiration for your own costume. I'm going to make my own version of this. But yeah, Spirit Halloween, I think it knows what it is, and that is of lowbrow humor and or scary props for your front door, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's nothing more, nothing less. They're like the cockroach of malls, right?
It's so true.
They come in for a couple of months,
yeah,
and then they're gone. It's just that's what they are.
Yeah.
But because I'm in that same boat with my running costume for Halloween, because last year, as a lot of people know, I went as the Cocaine Bear for the Halloween race, and I won the competition. Yeah. And I'm like, there's a lot of pressure for me to defend my title. I'm like, I've got to defend my title somehow. And so now I'm racking my brain, because there's a part of me that's like, okay, as a runner, there are certain things that could actually be kind of, funny, right? That I saw at Spirit of Halloween. But then I don't know.
Wait, do you have to run in this costume?
No. I mean, it's
Okay.
You don't have to, right?
Yeah.
I was the idiot last year who did run in my cocaine costume after dumping 5 pounds of
What were
flour
you
over
thinking,
my
right?
head.
And you were so dry at that point.
Oh my gosh, I was baking biscuits on the rest of my run there. Oh my gosh. No, and like that's no joke. And it took
speaking
me
of smells.
forever. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a road
Okay.
roll.
Well, we got plenty of time to talk costumes, and maybe off air I will be like, okay, let's brainstorm a little bit because I do need some help. And honestly, listeners, if you can help us, something fun, something creative, or if you are struggling and stressed out at this point. But yeah, like in addition to everything else, like, do you like this season the most? Like, are there runs or like that maybe go through the mountains as the leaves are changing? Are there specific runs that you really appreciate?
I do. Besides spring, it's probably my favorite time to go run because it's cooler weather. I like to run about when it's about 50, 55 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Revel Big Cottonwood is my favorite. I've done that every year. I was training for the St. George Marathon and yeah, so this past weekend on Friday night, I was preparing for my long run. I had to do 16 miles on Saturday morning.
Okay.
And I was getting everything ready. I was getting my clothes ready. And the cat, Walt, who loves to just constantly be touching you, was up just right next to me. And when I was turning to go put my stuff on my bed, I kind of tripped over him a little bit. Not horribly, but I braced myself with my right leg. And in the process, I kicked a dumbbell. And
How in the Final Destination did this happen?
I know. I kicked a dumbbell and I broke my toe.
You legit broke your toe this past weekend.
Yeah, and I just I knew instantly it was broken. I was kind of hoping like, okay, maybe I'll get up in the morning and I'll see how it is. I woke up in the morning and like I couldn't push off of it. I still can't push off of it. But then it's it's black and blue, and I'm like, yeah. And so the thing is, generally speaking, it's a quick-ish recovery because I just can't run for 6 weeks, which takes me out of the running for the St. George Marathon.
Is it broken toes and broken ribs that you just let lie? Is there something you can do for a broken toe?
I mean, it's the RICE method, right? Rest, ice, compression, and elevation. That's about it.
Really? Okay. I've never heard that, so today I learned.
Luckily, it could be worse, right? It could have been like a compound, like a little bone sticking out or whatever. But I mean, it was just a comedy of errors. I kick a stupid dumbbell. I'm like,
I mean, like maybe the corner of your bed, right? And then you're like, oh, but a dumbbell. That's when you're like,
suck it up like a man, But no,
you're like, do I blame myself for where I placed that dumbbell, or do I just like think the universe has it in for me? Or maybe you're not supposed to go to the St. George Marathon.
That's what my wife was saying, because my father-in-law, who signed up for the half marathon at the St. George Marathon, he actually I don't think he broke a rib, but he bruised his ribs really, really bad last weekend. Wow. He fell on a manhole. And so he's out of the St. George Marathon or half marathon now. So maybe we're not supposed to go.
If anyone listening is supposed to race at the St. George Marathon, don't.
Yeah,
it's bad luck.
Yeah, just don't go. But yeah. So anyway, I guess that's a long about way of saying I really do love. I love the autumn time. I love the leaves when they change. MaryAnn and I will be going up to the canyon to go look at the foliage. We'll go, leaf peeping here in the next couple of weeks.
So I like to hike now. I know I've said this a few times, but I feel like I have to keep, telling people so they actually believe me. And there's no better time to hike.
Oh no!
Like, it is the coolest time to hike. Granted, does it feel a little bit haunted? Yeah, and I appreciate that. But
I want to. We should go. We should go hiking. Like
so you can hike even with a broken toe. If you take it easy, you can go on a little hike. Okay.
Yeah, it's the pushing off, like when I'm running, that hurts. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly I'm out until at least October 12th or so as far as running goes. But I mean, yeah, October 12th and on, like that's great foliage time.
Yeah.
Man, we are talking like two 40-year-olds.
I know.
Let's go hiking. Bro date. Leaf peeping.
It's so funny. It's like, now that we got rid of the young guy, let's talk like,
I know.
Let's go for a little stroll around the neighborhood and judge people. Huh? Hey, put your dog on a leash.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Ugh. But I have to say, today when we were at the mall, we also stopped at HomeGoods because my wife wanted to get some fall decor.
Okay.
And
perfect.
We're going through the store, and she's getting her leaf stuff and whatever. And I found the most awesome thing ever. And we're gonna have another show and tell here,
because I feel like I want to go get whatever you're about to show without anyone listening going to get it, because I don't want anyone to take it from me. But
there are
explain
more.
what you have. Okay.
So when I saw it, I knew this is what I want. Right? I still had birthday money that I got from my mother and father-in-law. And I'm like, this is what I want to spend my money on. I totally felt like a kid, with my wife.
Yeah.
But I got my own fall decor. Look at this.
Oh my gosh, that's a fat squirrel if I've ever seen a fat squirrel.
It is, I think, basically the official mascot of the other show. It is the
Can
fat
that be
squirrel
in the image?
Yes, because I've taken quite a few pictures of it already.
Wait, so you're saying Walt and Roy are like replaced as favorite pet, and now you have the squirrel?
Well, I'm kind of working on that with MaryAnn, because one of the stipulations of me getting fat squirrel was he couldn't be downstairs. He had to stay in the room, which honestly I'm like, well, okay, but that I'm gonna test that boundary, because so we got new shelves this past weekend as well, and I'm like, this would look great.
Okay,
on the shelf.
Just to describe what we're going with here, would we say that's 1.5 feet tall? Maybe 2 feet?
A foot. It's a foot.
Is it just a foot? Okay, and it's a large. Mm-hmm. It's quite round. This isn't just like a tiny little taxidermy squirrel. This is a giant, probably plastic squirrel.
Something.
Oh yeah, that's a ceramic right there.
Yeah, it's ceramic. It's $16.99, made in China,
where the best squirrels are.
But yeah, isn't that beautiful?
Okay, can we ask the listeners to name it? If we have a mascot,
yeah,
unless you've already named it. Have you named it already?
I mean, well, sort of. Hold on.
Okay.
Gently put him down on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, if that thing snaps, that's another $17 you're gonna have to spend.
I know, because I know there's at least one more at that store.
And I'm going.
I kind of named it. So my little nephew, he calls squirrels that he sees outside of his house Squirrely Jr. And so I kind of been calling him Squirrely Jr., but he's Fat Squirrel. That's our mascot. And honestly, that's also the name of our company.
Yeah, right.
We're Fat Squirrel LLC. So
yeah. Not Squirrely Jr.
No, I mean the thing is like, yeah, do we call him just Fat Squirrel? Do we call him Squirrely Jr.? Is there a better name out there?
If you're listening right now and you have a better name, give it to us. Maybe we'll start a little poll, right?
Yes. Dude, again, we are two 40-year-old dudes that are talking about naming ceramic squirrels.
It's so true.
We need Spencer here, man.
If he would just make fun of us. I'm over here being like, I want to buy that and paint it like Halloween-y, because then I would give it its own name, right? And they could be buddies. They could have play dates.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. We are in a nursing home already. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
welcome to the porch, boys.
listen, I'm not gonna add any youth here because I need some pet advice because this is just what we're here for.
Oh, sure.
So we're a cat-based show, right? We all have cats. Spencer has a dog too, but we're very cat dad heavy. And so I have a cat, and it's not super nice. It's a very pretty cat, Misty Meowtons, and it doesn't like my daughters at all. In fact, I got the cat as an emotional support animal for my oldest, and this cat is a brat, and I don't mean in the positive accept who you are way, just a total brat. And the cat likes me, which is cool because, you know, cats are kind of loyal. But the girls are now that we've moved and there's a little bit more space, they want a second cat. And so what I want to know is how much more work will it take to raise a second cat? Like 2 cats instead of 1. Is it the same? Is it worse? I know you immediately went to 2 cats, right? When you got Walton Roy.
You know, honestly, like, I mean, the biggest difference is the litter box, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously they're producing more. So you have to stay on top of that. I guess the question though right now, how many do you just have 1 litter box?
Yeah, just 1.
So and how often do you change that?
Probably every 3 days.
Okay. That's kind of we're
out.
kind of that same way. We actually so we have, and this might be overkill, but it's because who wants to be scooping poop all the time, right?
Yeah.
They do obviously produce more poop. So we actually have 4 litter boxes downstairs. So that way we can do once a week without it stinking.
Okay.
That's probably the biggest I think thing with having 2 cats. But then also, do you know if she's going to get along with another cat?
That's a question, right? I don't know, like there's a part of me that's like maybe a second cat will calm her down and she'll be super loving and cuddly. But that's never going to happen, right?
No. Is she fixed?
Yeah, she is. I know this. Remember, it was last summer when she was like,
yes.
She was like, and she would put her butt up towards me and be like, and I'd be like, knock it off, you perv. Like, nothing's going to happen.
That's when you should have gotten her a second or like a friend.
No, because there would be many more cats around the house. Yeah.
Well,
you
just need 1 litter to calm her down. That's what I'm saying.
So she's like, I'll never do that again. I just had so many children.
But you know, you almost have to make cat bachelor, man. Cat bachelor.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do. You need to have a competition of cats that are up for adoption, and you have to try them out with Misty Meowtons. And you have to make a competition. You have to dwindle it down to 1 cat that can get along with her.
Wow.
And we can make a show out of it.
And so she could give like a catnip rose or something like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Like little flowers that are like laced with catnip.
You know, or if she's a hunter, you know, a dead mouse.
Oh, like half of a mouse.
Like a mouse head.
Like I'm sorry, gentlemen. If you did not get a roast tonight, please take some time to say goodbye. Do you like how well I did that? Like clearly I watched too much Bachelorette.
Yes, you do.
Okay, hold on. Cat Bachelor. I think we could make this happen.
I think it's a great idea. It's perfect. It's flawless, right?
Is it flawless?
I don't know.
Hey,
I mean, you could probably watch it on KBYU.
Yeah. Have you ever, other than the cooking show, have you ever had a chance to? I'm trying to think if we've talked about this. Been part of? Have you ever had a chance to be on a reality show, other than the cooking show that your family was on?
I've been in the process of those, and I've gone through the interview process. I applied, and this kind of goes with the other show, but I applied to be on The Biggest Loser twice.
Yeah. How long ago was that? Was that back in the heyday?
Yeah, it was kind of 2000. I want to say it was about 2007, and then I did 2009 or 10. and stood there at the Triad Center in downtown Salt Lake for hours, and
Yeah.
oh man, I'll just say people who drive by are jerks because
Because I'm just picturing it, right? There's people in line hoping to make drastic changes in their lives, right? And they're already kind of leaving shame or any sort of pride at the door. They're like, hey, I just want some help. And then you have jerks that drive by and harass.
Yeah, I mean, there were some kids that mooed, and I'm just like, whatever. I mean, that stuff never ever got to me, but that's just me, right?
Right.
Everybody else who was in that line who heard it, who knows? But
yeah,
that was an interesting process. That time I didn't get too far. The other time I got somewhat far with some the producers.
Yeah.
And then I also applied and was interviewed for, it was a multi-generational reality show for I can't remember, TLC or something.
Okay.
It was only like a 2 or 3 episode long thing, but my family didn't want to do it. It was before my brother was involved in reality TV. And so my dad was like, no, like that's blah, blah, blah. Now he totally would have been all over it if it was like 3 years later.
In marketing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have been on another reality show. It's in German.
What?
I've never told you. I've never told you this story.
Tell us all again, if not for the first time.
So back when my family did PrepperCon that happened here in Salt Lake, we were approached. I think it was our second year that we did it. We only did it, I think, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But we were approached by a German TV station that wanted to do a documentary on American life, right?
Okay.
And they wanted to target us because of the whole prepping thing, the whole gun thing, and everything. And so they asked to spend a week with our family and just follow us around, and then kind of interview us and have us show them kind of what we do and all this fun stuff, right? So for a whole week, they stayed with our family. We canned with them. We did some canning. We did.
Wait, like a church, like the church said, "Hey, it's your week to go canning," and then you did, or?
Well, we showed them how to can at my parents' house, right?
Okay.
So my mom showed them how to, I think, can peaches, and then we did like earthquake drills and showed them how we prepare, like if there's an earthquake or whatever. What else did we do with them? We took and then we took them out like somewhere west of like Delta or something, like in the middle of nowhere in central Utah, and we just blew up stuff. Like my brother took all of his like big guns and everything, and we just like it was so much fun.
It's so funny, right? Because they were like, yeah, thanks, family who's super into prepping. And then they're like, we need something for the sizzle reel. Oh, explosions. Here we go.
Yes. Well,
right.
Welcome
to America.
What was so funny though is they absolutely loved it, right?
Yeah.
They loved shooting the big guns, and because we blew up like a teddy bear or something with one of my brother's bigger guns, and they were all for it, right?
Of course.
And then once we got the edited version and everything, obviously, I mean, German TV is way different than American TV, but we're watching it, and we didn't have the the English subtitles or anything, but like the reactions were like, "Oh, that's scary." I don't know if that's even German. That sounds like a really bad.
It's a really bad Japanese accent.
Wrong side of World War II.
Listen, it's not even offensive because everyone's confused. So.
I know. But they were acting so like, oh, their guns, that's so like, whoa. And I'm like, dude, you loved it. Like,
Yeah, they loved it.
Yeah,
because they want to make fun, but they're so into it.
Mhm.
Okay, I love that random documentary is like, it's being played somewhere. The Hanson family is being played somewhere, and you have no idea.
It seriously was a lot of fun, and I'm still friends with a lot of the people that were on the production crew on Facebook, and so I don't know, but outside of that, honestly, like, I really haven't been involved in a lot of reality, shows and stuff like that. Even though I won't lie, I had that thought the other day. I'm like, I should find some casting calls or something for some reality show just to kind of see what's out there, because there's always casting calls.
There are, in fact, I think there's like a Love is Blind casting call. It's a Netflix dating show. For everyone that doesn't know, I know very well. And so they go from they go from city to city. And not that I'm like, ooh, I hope they do Salt Lake City, because I have my own reasons I wouldn't want to. But I was like, like there probably are casting calls all the time for just whatever random stuff. Whether it's like a House Hunters thing or a dating one or a competition show. Yeah. In fact, I was actually thinking, like, with Golden Bachelorette coming up, because by the way, sorry everyone that doesn't care about this stuff, Josh and I do. So they're doing a second season of Golden Bachelor, Golden Bachelorette. And I was like, why don't they do, like, I feel a little like, left out. Not me personally, but also me personally. Like, where's the 40-year-olds representation on these dating shows? Because you watch any sort of dating show and it's like 23, 25, 30. If they're 30 or 31, they're old, right?
Yeah. And they're usually
like,
creepos.
Yeah, they're usually creepos. But I'm like, what about a Silver Bachelor? Like, why does that show not exist? And I'm like, oh, it kind of makes sense. Because, like, let's break this down, right? Let's say I go on a dating reality show and there's women who are kind of the same demographic, and it's like, hey, tell me about yourself. And she's like, oh, I have 3 children and my ex really sucks. And I'm like, yeah, I've got 2 kids. How old are they? Like, that's the kind of entertainment / lack of entertainment that would be on TV. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think it would be the most logical season of The Bachelor yet, but it wouldn't be very controversial.
Right.
It would just be like, oh, they've got to be really practical about this. Like, I don't know if their lives are really going to gel. It's the romance may be gone. It's more just like, dating apps suck, right? Here we are.
Either that or like there's going to be some kind of controversy that, like, wow, he drives a really nice sports car. He should be driving a minivan if he's really serious about this relationship.
Or maybe it's a guy, he's like, I'm embarrassed I drive a minivan. She's like, I love you so much for telling me that. And he's like, let's go get a sweet treat. You owe it to yourself. We're
going to go down to the TCBY.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, it'd be kind of fun to see someone that's around my age on a dating reality show. And I'm like, no, it wouldn't be fun at all. Like, the extreme aspects, like, we're all a little bit tired. We're just like, hey, just let us live our lives. We're a little more introverted now. The energy and the clout chasing is kind of gone. You'd hope.
You would hope.
I say that knowing that there's like full seasons of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but
oh yeah,
don't
get me started on that.
But
one.
look, would I still try to get on one of those casts? Yeah, because I want to be on a reality show, whatever it is, except for like You, Me, and My Ex, which I could have been on, but that's a story I've shared before.
I know, Mike. We don't have to tell that story. That's
it's indeed. Okay, so clearly we like our tangents. Spencer, you don't even need to be here for this. I mean, please come back, but also apparently we can derail ourselves enough.
That's what
I think we
do.
Yeah, I think we blame Spencer when it's not really his fault.
Maybe he's just like wrangling us in.
That's probably it.
There's a reason why he wears the cowboy hats and the boots. It's not to herd cattle. It's us.
That's literally all he wears when we record, a cowboy hat and boots. Please, just chaps on the front at least. That's all we ask. But hey, like, we meant to do this at the top of the show, but we get so distracted. But we do have a new patron we want to announce.
Yes, we do. David or David Wright is our newest,
David.
more than friends of the show.
Woo woo,
so that's our
woo woo.
$15 tier. So
Awesome.
welcome, David. I have a problem calling him David, and I don't know if he wants to go by David or David, because I know him as David because he is one of my wife's bestest friends, and so that's what she calls him. But I don't know, or is it David the Hummer Man?
I feel a little conflicted, right? Like, David's great, but like, does he listen to the show on his own volition, or is it because your wife was a little too persistent, right? Is she, or I could say, is she a good missionary, or is he just to actually enjoy us?
I mean, if he's joining our $15 tier, more than friends, I mean, that's dedication. I mean, I would hope that he likes to listen to us. Obviously, he wants the bonus content, right?
Yeah. And once again, David, we're sorry Spencer's not here. We apologize.
Yeah, somehow this works. But honestly, thank you, David, so much. We will talk about your Hummers. We do want to talk a little bit more about that here in a future episode, because I know you have, and MaryAnn's explained this to me, you have a love and a fascination with Hummers. And so we'll talk about that in a future episode, because clearly we need Spencer here for that too.
No, I don't think so. Spencer's going to make it weird. Spencer's going to tell a joke.
Dude.
That we're going to be like, ooh, sorry, David.
True.
Yeah.
we are the furthest away
from the E than we've ever been.
I know. Like, I can feel the spirit in this episode.
Okay, take it easy. We started the show off like making biscuits and bathroom smells, so we stay pretty consistent.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, never mind.
Okay, so we do have a phone call, right, Josh?
Yes, we actually do. Let me see. We need Spencer here.
I know, right?
Hey guys, this is Colton. First time voicemail leaver, but long time listener of this show and another show that you were all a part of, which I still want to hear a story about. But got a little bit of a bone to pick. Josh, Jurassic Tacos is amazing. Do not judge the entire restaurant on one experience. Very good. Delicious tacos, delicious burritos. All right, and then you guys started talking about the pay it forward chain. Obviously, I've heard of this before, but this is my first time being a part of it, and it's quite ironic that you guys talk about it and then all of a sudden it happens. So next door to my place of employment, not establishment, there is a gas station, and I went in there. There was another gentleman in there, and apparently he bought my fountain drink for me, which is very nice. But apparently, get talking with a lady that obviously I talk to almost every day, and she said that he does it every time he's in there, and I did. I felt obligated to do it myself. The only issue is fountain drink was $1. I didn't happen to have $1 on me. So, and like Spencer said, the chain has to stop somewhere. So unfortunately, I did not pay it forward this time. But I'm not going to lie either. It did, make me want to pay it forward. I just didn't have any cash, so I guess there was the limit there. I didn't want to run $1 charge on my card. So, yeah, it gave me warm fuzzies, but it also kind of made me feel like I was a jerk for not paying it forward. So, anyway, thanks, guys. Appreciate everything you do. See ya.
So,
well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Colton. Thanks for calling. First time caller. That's kind of fun. So, Colton, I think we're here to just clear your conscience, right? If you're going to let someone be the guardian angels, it might as well be the other show, right? Well, because we're all really good influences. Yeah, feel fine about not paying it forward. Like, I know we talked about this already, but I thought about it a little bit last week, and that is pretty crazy that the universe is like, yeah, we're going to give you a situation, Colton. Yeah, you got a free $1 there, a free drink. Now pay $4 for the next person. I think we should all just kind of take the free stuff. Let's say you got $2 worth of something or $1 or a combo meal, and maybe go, that's awesome. Thank you, universe. I deserve that. And maybe in the future, when I'm feeling inspired, I'll do the same. But you shouldn't feel compelled in that second. I think that takes away
Yep.
the gift of that free
Right.
thing.
Well, it's really funny though too, because Spencer, and I don't want to steal this story from Spencer,
Yeah.
but I am, because he's not here. He actually texted me the other day and he's like, I almost got stuck in a pay it forward chain.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you almost got stuck? He's like, yeah, I stopped it.
You're right.
He went to get a burrito, and he's like, the car behind me, it was a van. He's like, I'm not paying for that. I know that order's probably like $50 or more.
Yep. And I think that's just it. I think you may feel a little tinge of guilt, and then you go, that's okay, I can sleep at night.
Yeah.
Because we should be able to sleep at night. Should we ban pay it forwards? Should we ban them?
I think so. And
Kind gestures
Mm-hmm.
on the table, right? But mandatory, voluntold pay it forwards, bad.
well, and especially last week when it happened to us, the kid that told us, it was just, I mean, first off, like, he was just so full of life and so excited that there was this chain going on. But at the same time, like,
Yeah.
you could tell within his voice that it was like, you're going to keep it going, aren't you? You're going to keep it going. And I was like, well, fine, if you twist my arm that way. But thankfully, the other order was like $1 or $2 more.
Keep in mind, like, the angel Kent is speaking,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm the kind of person that I get really upset. Like, for example, went to Fizz today. Hey, would you like to round that to the nearest dollar for a very good cause? And then I get upset and I go, well, I won't be coming back here for a couple months, will I? And it's so funny, right? Because, like, it's for a good cause,
Mm-hmm.
but these companies are doing it in a very guilty way. Like, it's so tax deductible for them, and they are profiting from this whole exchange.
I've never thought of
And
that
so I
way.
No, they do. And so I'm like, oh, that's cool that they're like running this,
Mm-hmm.
but they're really not helping out this. I mean, I am, and I'll feel better about it. But then I just get mad that I just rounded up 47 cents to the nearest dollar. And I'm like, ugh, yeah. And then I'm like, did I even get a little blessing from that? Because I'm so angry right now. Like, my inner Jew is like, by the way, I can say that, is like,
So can I.
What did you do that for? Yeah, right. So I don't know. The forced or compelled volunteerism.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for anybody.
No. But I will say, I have been like a sucker for those. You know, like when you go to I think Apollo Burger does this quite a bit, where you go through the drive-through,
Okay.
and they're like, "Do you want to donate $1? And if you donate $1, you can put a name." Like on the window, and it's like a, I don't know, like a 4-leaf clover or
Right.
something, or whatever the
Totally.
thing is. And I'm always a sucker for those, especially like the cancer ones, because they're like, oh, it's for childhood cancer, and I'm like, okay, like, I want the $1, and then you're like, you can put the name of whoever you're donating this to, and then I just make up a name, right?
Because you're not doing it to be seen, but you're like, I'm making a difference, and there's a physical difference here with this 4-leaf clover.
Well, but then
Josh,
I make up a name like Testy McTesty, just because I want somebody in that drive-through to see that and just chuckle.
it's in there one day in the history books. They're going to be like, we were so close to curing cancer, and then the final $1 pushed us over the edge, and the person we can attribute that to is Testy McTesterson.
Yes, he was the difference maker.
Yeah.
No, speaking of races, which we talked about earlier and everything, most of these races that I run, you can put like a custom name on your race bib.
Yeah.
And last year when I signed up for the cancer run, the cancer run here that happens in June, I signed up for it way before my nephew was diagnosed with cancer,
Okay.
right? Otherwise, I
Yeah.
would have put his name on it, right?
Yeah.
And I completely forgot, because it was about a year before this race happened. I completely forgot what I put on the race bib.
Sure.
And so I get to the packet pickup. I pick up my race bib and I look at it. And what do I put on the race bib? Testicular cancer sucks balls.
Okay. Oh no. Well, it's true. It's true.
Well, and
Technically.
the worst part of that too was like, I've got my father-in-law here, and then I'm running this race for my nephew, and I just went up to him, I'm like, I signed up before I knew about you. I'm like, I apologize.
You're like, but it's a strong statement, and I'm gonna have to stand
and
by
I
it.
stand by that because it really does.
Yeah. That's so good. Yeah, don't worry. I'm the kind of guy. Yeah, we're both going to a bad place. We were angels at the beginning of this conversation.
We were.
By the way, thank you, Colton. Now this has become a segment.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the kind of person that'll like be in line and they'll say, "Hey, would you like to donate to starving children to help end their hunger?" And I say, "No, I'm good. No, I'm okay. Yeah. No, I'm good." Mm-hmm. And I think about what I said. I'm like, wow, what a douche. Like, I'm good. I just ordered my food. Mm-hmm. I'm good. But their hunger, I'm actually okay.
I'm double fisting 2 burritos over here and like
speaking of, so Jurassic Taco, I mean,
okay.
I guess I need to go.
I do want to defend myself here because I actually do like Jurassic Taco. I'm just on a hiatus because like right now I can't really eat Mexican food just because of that experience with the food poisoning. And I don't think I'm going to be eating chorizo anytime soon.
Oh, I skipped chorizo altogether. You know that with our constitutions, chorizo is like, it is the poison that we should never ingest.
Especially when it's cross.
That's a mix of meats. What are you doing?
Especially when it's cross-contaminated, I learned my lesson, but I actually do love Jurassic Taco because I have a really good friend that works with them and speaks great things about their food, and I love it. Got a couple. No, actually, I think it's just one that's just fairly close to my house, but it's just blacklisted.
Okay, listen, Josh, I'll tell you what. Mm-hmm. When you're ready to go back, Colton, you're invited too. When you're ready to go back, I'll go with you. Okay. That way, if you get food poisoning, I get food poisoning.
You want some?
We'll share in this pain.
You want some time off of work? Is that what you're saying?
No, listen. I'm the guy that I purposely ate 2 pounds of sugar-free gummy bears to see if they would make me sick, to see if the rumors were true.
Wow.
And my tummy's like, my tummy's like, and like my tummy gets upset at minor things. Mm-hmm. And it was solid as a rock. I'm like, oh, this is fine. Yeah. This is totally fine. It's not giving me any sort of stomach issues whatsoever. I think it's a fake.
It was as solid as a rock because those gummy bears are still in your stomach because there's no way out. It's been sitting in your
There's no easy way out.
For about the last
There's no shortcut
4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, it's been 2 years. Take it easy. But, maybe. Maybe that's maybe I should go to the doctor and get that checked out. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, listen. I had movies and stuff to talk about. We're gonna kick that down the road. Yeah. Spencer, you being gone, it's messed with our lives. It's messed with our hearts. But somehow we made it through. So come back. Yeah. Josh, you want to give us the number again for people to call?
So 801-508-4989. So make sure you call. Okay. Call before Sunday night at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. So just to make sure that you get on that week's show. So anyway, yeah.
So before we get any, let's end this.
You've just listened to The Other Show, starring Kent Dunn, Josh Hansen, and Spencer Myers. The Other Show is produced by Kent Dunn, Josh Hansen, and Spencer Myers. Show design and audio editing is done by me, Josh Hansen, and sales manager is Spencer Myers. The Other Show is generously supported by our friends on Patreon. A huge thank you to our Friends with Benefits tier. These friends are contributing a minimum of $25 a month, which in return comes with some rather significant benefits, including the weekly off-the-cuff episodes of The Other Show, monthly bonus episodes, quarterly live Q&A shows, and exclusive swag and perks. A huge thank you to our favorite Brit, Jonathan Vaskar, the lovely and talented Mrs. Robinson, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Brandon from Popfly Cards, Lady Terry A. Finley, the proud Disney mom, Tanya Budge, the other Keith Brown, It's Rick, Not Dick Smith, Dave, and of course, our newest friend with benefits, Melanie Milring. To support The Other Show on Patreon, visit patreon.com/The Other Show to join. Please rate, review, and subscribe to The Other Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or wherever podcasts are found. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. To better connect with us and other fans of The Other Show, join our Facebook group, The Other Group. For past episodes, links to our other shows, and to shop for show swag, visit our website at theother.show. And remember, when you're not listening to me here on The Other Show, you can hear me on my other show, The Party in the Back.
You can hear me on my other show, Bacon Cell.
And you can catch Spencer next week.
We hope.